Okay, today we're going to be talking about a new song called Before I Knew Your Name. Now, calm down. I'm excited about this one. It's emotional, it's heavy, it's grateful. But before I play this song, I need to share where it comes from, because these aren't just words on a page. They're my story. And if you don't know my story, the lyrics might sound like poetry to you. But if you know what God pulled me through, then I'm hoping you'll hear them as more of a testimony. Now, first and foremost, this song is my way of saying thank you to God for always being there, for protecting me, even when I was too young to know his name, even when I didn't want to believe, even when I was just a broken kid trying to figure out how am I going to survive in this world. So let me level set real quick with you. I grew up in a home in New York that was, let's say, anything but safe. Although my mother tried her best, my biological father was an very abusive alcoholic. There were nights where he literally tried to kill us or run my mother over with the car. Nights where I hid under the bed covers, and not just afraid of him, but of the heavy spiritual darkness that seemed to just completely fill the house. Some of you may understand what I mean by that and what we'll associate, but I didn't grow up knowing God. We didn't talk about him in my home, but even as a boy, I could feel his presence protecting me. There were nights when I should have been destroyed, physically, emotionally, spiritually, but somehow I wasn't. I now know, as I've matured and gone through life, that was his hand. That was his mercy. He shielded me from becoming consumed by the darkness that I was born into. I carried chains, heavy chains, and I think a lot of us can relate to these of lack, chains of financial lack, tied to alcoholism, things tied to addictions of all kinds, things passed down through my family line. And yet, even when I didn't have the words to pray, he was there. He was writing a different story for me, and I was never consumed by those addictions, thankfully, or the depravity that I experienced. Fast forward a few years, I found myself in a different kind of war. At 18, I served and left for the United States Marine Corps, finding myself eventually in the deserts of the Middle East, ancient lands, right? And talking about like Iran, Iraq, Bahrain, and so on. But I walked through the literal fire of war. I carried pain, I carried trauma, I carried memories I can't even to this day fully put into words. But here's the thing. It wasn't just the physical battles that I personally was fighting. It was the unseen battles too. Like most of you have fought, and you understand that. But the ones in my mind, my spirit, the battles, the enemy's voice telling me I'd never be free from these. I'd never be free from my past, never escape the chains that I was born into. And we've heard it all, you never to be enough. So, and still, that's the good news. And still through all of that, I look back and I see his hand. God was sheltering me, he was guiding me, he was carrying me through both the wars I could see and the ones no one else around me could see. Bear with me here, because this is hard. That's why the bridge of this song is so important to me. And it says, you turn my shame to freedom. You healed what hell had claimed. The boy who should have perished now sings a brand new name. That's not just a lyric. What I'm sharing is, this is my life. By all accounts, I shouldn't even be here. I should have been destroyed by my home I was raised in. I should have been buried by war or addiction or despair. God had a different plan. How cool is that? What? So he took the shame, he took the chains, the brokenness, and he wrote my story. And now instead of carrying a name marked by pain, shoot, I carry a new name, a child of God, right? Redeemed, free, alive. That's powerful stuff. So when you hear this song, I hope you guys hear more than the music. I hope you hear the sound of a life that should have been lost, but was saved. I hope you hear, more importantly, the gratitude pouring. Because what the song really says is that, God, you were there the whole time. Before I knew you, before I called you, before I believed in you. Shoot, you carried me, you protected me, you saved me. This isn't just a fluke, this isn't just happenstance. That's why it ends, the song ends the way it does. Gentle, but sure, right? You were there, you were there, you were always there. Grateful mercy saved my soul. This song is my thank you, and maybe it could be yours also. This song is called Before I Knew Your Name. Enjoy.
In a house where shadows whisper, where the nights were filled with fear, I should have been consumed by darkness, but somehow you kept me near. I didn't know your holy name then, I couldn't hear your voice in prayer, but you shielded me from fire, your mercy lingered there. You were there before I called you, you were near when I was blind. You held me through the broken, gave me strength I couldn't find. Unworthy and a stranger, still your love would not let go. Now I stand with hands uplifted, grateful mercy saved my soul. I walked through deserts burning, I carried heavy pain, but even in the silence, I knew you knew my name. In war and in the waiting, through battles seen unseen, your hand became my shelter, your love my constant theme. You were there before I called you, you were near when I was blind. You held me through the broken, gave me strength I couldn't find. You were there before I knew you. Every moment, every mile, you carried me through ashes and called me as your child. Unworthy but forgiven, I'm alive because you chose. Now forever I'll remember, grateful mercy saved my soul. You were there, you were there. mercy saved.